Today we're going to go through the transition to close. One of my favorite parts of the demo, because at this point you're getting pretty close to protecting the family. Now I know when I was a new agent, I mean I still am relatively, but my first few months, this was a part that I would skip altogether constantly. It's not in your, there isn't a visual cue for it in your app. So it's really easy to skip. It's the same thing with, with your buying atmosphere. It's very, very easy to kind of just run right over it. And you can't do that. I mean, the transition is super important. You got to do it properly, and you cannot skip it. So the reason you can't skip it is because it offers a smooth transition from, your benefits, features, you're going, you get your money back, and then if you say, hey, you're getting all your money back, and this is how this plan works, and then you just immediately, bam, jump into let's sign you up, people are not going to be, it's not going to work out very well all the time. So it's kind of like asking someone out on a date and then immediately asking them to get married, right? It is not a smooth transition, just going from, hey, get all your money back, and then boom, well, what's your credit card info? It just does not work very well. So the other cool thing about the transition to close, if it's done properly, the prospect is really kind of like some other parts in the sales talk as well. They're selling themselves on why they're going to close right now. It kind of sums everything up and reminds them of all the reasons they've already given you about why the policy makes sense for them. It kind of wraps everything up in a neat, tidy little bow. It's going to help persuade a lot of the prospects too that are still kind of on the fence. It'll probably eliminate a lot of the objections you might be getting when you're closing. So like if you're getting the we're not signing up for this now, are we? Objection a lot, more than likely your transition to close is not very good. You're not doing it well. So do not skip this. And I know it's hard at the beginning because there's no cue for it. And I mean, my first few months, I skipped it all the time, and it's if you do it right and you do it right every time, your closing percentage is going to go through the roof. There's just no question about it. So let's kind of go through it. So you start off, say, whoever it is, Kelly, now that you've seen this whole thing, there's several reasons why people enroll with us. At this point, you're showing your names list. I always show the names list. And I mean, you have to. I mean, it's super important. It's super important to do that because if they make connections there, just like when you're doing your testimonials, if they're making connections there, if you're working your territory tight, they're making connections, and that is, I mean, it's a huge thing. I mean, that is really going to convince a lot of people that, hey, I'm not the first one getting on this boat, right? So don't skip this part. Don't skip showing the names. Definitely do that. Can you tell me why it's really important to show the photos and the names? Can anybody? I mean, aside from even making the connections, or maybe I already answered my own question.
It's showing you that people are buying, and they're people like them.
Yes.
They buy the approval of others.
They buy the approval of others.
That's right. Thanks, Brandy. And so, at this point now, you said most people and if I find anybody that they know, I'm inserting that name here. So most people like that person, right here, get this for the peace of mind knowing that their family's protected. And then you're saying, some people and if you have another name here, whoever it is, get this for the security blanket it gives them. They say they work too hard in their life to watch their savings go up in smoke because of an accident or illness. And then you're saying a lot of people like whomever like it for the money back part because they're not wasting money every month when they stay healthy. So they have the peace of mind in a savings account for the future. So this entire section kind of reinforces the idea that they're not the first people to buy, right? If you're working your territory tight, they're probably going to find people that they know in your names list or in your pictures. So definitely use those. That it's super important. People love to see people that they know. They love to see that they already had this. So now we're going into the next part. So for you, Kelly, what do you like most? Was it the peace of mind, security, or a combination of it all? So at this point, right now, you're having people connect the dots, right? You've given them pretty much three very clear choices, and you're asking them to pick one or all of them. You're kind of saying, everyone else has a clear reason to buy. This was it. What's your reason now? So whatever they choose, the next step is to have them explain why they chose that, right? So you'll say, why is that peace of mind? Generally, they're going to say peace of mind. I mean, it's 90% of the time, peace of mind is the main one, but whatever they say, whatever it is, why is the peace of mind so important to you? Why is it so important to have that backup plan? So having them explain why is also really, really important. You cannot skip this part. I know a lot of times when I first started, I was skipping one of these, and it was usually the why. You'd say, well, which one makes most sense to you? And then you skip over the why and say, well, how would it make you feel to know that you had that? Right. But you have to get them to explain why. It is super important, because they need to clearly explain to you and to themselves the why. I mean, they have to know, and you have to know why they need the policy. They're really at this point kind of closing themselves. And a lot of times you'll see people, when you ask that why, they'll talk for a while. I mean, they're gonna explain, and they're gonna be, you're gonna see the wheels turning, because they're really kind of explaining themselves. Yeah, okay, yeah, this is why that makes sense. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, it really starts to come out there, and you'll start to get a feel after a while. At this point, you're kind of going to know who's. I mean, I'm closing this person, right? Because they're going to be explaining why, and the why is going to be so clear. You're like, well, they can't. At this point, they're not saying no, right? But it's super important. You have to get them to explain that. There's just no doubt about it. So now that they've given you that reason, and they've explained their rationale, using that kind of logical side of their brain, now you're going to kind of hit them in the feels, right? Because we all know, and we say it over and over again, that people are going to buy based on emotion. So it is super important now to get them to to explain how it makes them feel, how it would make them feel to have this backup plan, or how it would make them feel to have this safety net, whatever it is, or how it would make them feel to get all that money back in 25 years, which a lot of people love, obviously. So logically, they know at this point, if they've gotten this far, that this thing makes sense, right? And if you did well building the need, you may already have that kind of emotional part covered. They may have already gone through that, and they've already got it. They've got the feels there. But if you want that smooth transition and asking for their bank account info, you cannot skip this next question. So next you go into, how would it make you feel knowing you had that peace of mind? But also, if you stay healthy, you'll be getting all your money back down the road. How does that make you feel? And generally, I mean, usually they're going to respond with some version of really good or great. Yeah, that would be awesome. I'd really love that. And I mean, at that point, it's just, yeah, right, exactly. And that's why everyone is getting this. And the best part is, it's super easy to qualify, or the application process is super simple. Then you go into your qualifying questions. So, I mean, I think this has been maybe 10 minutes, so I draw this out as long as I should have, but yeah, Brandy.
Hey, Patrick, let's role play that with you.
Sure. You want me to, you'll be the prospect?
I am, you've already sat down with me, and I'm a single mom, and I have 2 kids.
Okay. All right. So now that you've seen this whole thing, there are a lot of reasons why people enroll with us. For example, and I'm pulling out my names list here. Now, do you know Jamie Mitchell over here at Mitchell Motors? Have you met Jamie?
Yep, we went to school together.
Awesome. Yeah, everybody seems to know him around here. Well, Jamie, I mean, he really liked this for the peace of mind. I mean, that was the big thing to him. Now, how about, do you know Short Circuits Barbecue down here? If you met John David there, he owns that place. Everybody knows Short Circuits. Yeah.
Yeah, I eat there too much.
Yeah, John David and his wife, I mean, they liked it for a lot of reasons. You can see here, they'll find that, and they also liked it for the return of premium. So, as you see, I mean, everybody kind of liked it for different reasons, but most really like this and get it for the peace of mind, knowing that their family's protected. So most people, like Jamie Mitchell, he really loved it for that. I mean, it made sense to him that he had that backup plan. He had something to protect his family's future. It just made sense. And some people, like John David, who had Short Sugars, he got it for the security blanket. He has a bunch of investments, he has a bunch of assets, and he really liked the fact that if something bad happened, those would be protected. Okay. So he's worked way too hard in his life, he told me, to just lose everything. Got sick, hurt. And a lot of people, like Taylor Carson here, she liked it for the money back part, because she didn't feel like she was just throwing money out the window every month on a policy like this. And she knew that if she stayed healthy, she'd have that backup plan, but if she stayed healthy, she'd also be getting that money back. So Brandy, for you, what is it that you like most about policy? Was it the peace of mind? Was it the safety net? Was it the fact that you get your money back if you don't use it, or a combination of all? Which one was it for you?
I really love the peace of mind. As a single mom, if something happens to me, I'm the only person that's working, and God forbid something happens to one of my children. I really love the fact that I can get them to the very best place if something happens. And then the fact that if I never use it, it's just a nice savings account. I really like both of those.
So why is that so important to you, that peace of mind? Why is it so important to you to have that backup plan?
So, I've had a lot of family members go through cancer, and I've seen how financially devastating it can be. And just knowing that I have this just in case something happens just gives me such relief.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, absolutely. So how would it be when you had that, but also know with that, if you didn't use it, stayed healthy, you get money back down, bro. How would that make you feel?
That would make me feel very good, and that I made a very good decision for my family.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And that's what everyone says. And that's why everyone's beginning this. And the best part is the application process is super simple. So we'll just run you through that now, and then you run into the questions, qualifying questions. So yeah, I mean it's simple, but it is also, as Randy, that was awesome. It's super simple, but it's also really easy to forget. And you cannot forget this. It is so easy to just, and you get through everything. You're like, yeah, you made it through the demo. You get to that last slide there, and you get all your money back, and they're all excited about that. And it's like, and then you just run right into those questions. It happens all the time. I mean, every now and then I'll say because the visual cue isn't there, but you cannot do that. A whole lot of prospects doing people huge disservice if you skip this part, because it really up into a ball and just kind of enforces everything you've gone through in this demo and just transitions right into those questions and into getting their bank account info. Really, it's because if you just go from buying atmosphere or not buying atmosphere, I'm sorry, from oh my goodness, I'm drawing a
From the
blank.
benefits to the
Yeah.
application.
Thank you, Brandy. If you just go right from one to the other, it is just jarring. And you'll start noticing that once you start getting this part down really well, how much smoother it goes and how much less of the real. Are you really signing me up for this now, or are we doing this right now? And I mean, you'll get that a lot if you do this properly. So yeah, I think that's it. I mean, does anybody have any questions about transition to close?
Patrick, no, that was awesome, man. No questions, but dude, that was phenomenal. The what, why, how, what did you like about it? Why is that so important for you? How did that make you feel? Remember, what, why, how are the three main questions you ask in the transition and close. You crush that part. Yes, if you don't do the transition and close correctly, you do not deserve the sale. And yeah, it's going 0 to 100 real quick. That ask somebody to marry you after first date. That was a great analogy for that. So make sure you do it, because you will never get a sale if you don't do transition and close the way that it's written on there.
Great job. Is everyone ready to get out here and help protect some families today?
I sure am.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's go.
Yes,
Everyone
ma'am.
everyone look at your numbers to see where you are. See how far you are away from increasing your double cash bonus, because this is the last week to do that. So I know the Graham household is aiming to hopefully bring in a $6,000 bonus for the family. That's a nice vacation. So know where you are and see what you can do to get there and be a blessing to every person you meet today. Over to you, Kyle.
Thanks, Franny. That's awesome. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but a $6,000 bonus for 1 month is pretty substantial. I know, like my parents, you know, they worked really hard and they never even made $6,000 in a month. Never left in bonus cash just for 1 month. That's what this career will do for you guys, gang. So make sure that this is double bonus month. This is the last week of April sales month. So capitalize, go full force, run to the finish line. You will never regret for working super hard and challenging yourself and sharpening your habits, your skills, your attitude, just getting 1% better each day. It's not about us, it's about our clients. So make sure today you put your best foot forward and make everybody smile. It's your job to make them smile, not the other way around. And make sure you leave everybody in a better mood than you met them, regardless of how nice they are to you. Our job is to leave everybody in a better mood. And let's go have our heart on service today. And we'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Have a great day.